indeed gave me information that after Museveni took power and he worked with Kaira, who he later, his government murdered, the Baganda soldiers who were Kaira soldiers were deployed in northern Uganda to cause havoc. Now that was deliberate because eventually this is the hate and anger that many of us inherited. But there was somebody that planned it. Well, long story short, here we are in a nation that has been affected so much. The people of northern Uganda have seen a brilliant genocide, and I want to encourage all the people of northern Uganda to go watch that documentary where people like Norbert Mao and others spoke the truth. Unfortunately, later on, it was put on our generation. Now we are here, hateful of each other, distrustful of each other, and yet our oppressor is Museveni, who has gotten us here. So I want the people of Uganda to know they're not each other's enemy, but the enemy is one who has kept us in this situation, a person that has destroyed our identities from the north to the south, from the west to the east. Therefore, it's important to come together, face our problems, and discuss solutions moving forward. Having said that, we are on this mobilization drive to empower the people of Uganda and show them that they have the power to turn all this narrative around, to re-identify ourselves as a generation, to march forward, to overcome the oppression, to overcome the corruption, to overcome the backwardness, and indeed to forge a path for a new Uganda. And that is the message that we keep moving forward. And in the coming minutes, I will share our aspirations and our dream and paint a picture for a new Uganda that the National Unity Platform hopes to usher in. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. In radio, I take on the man of the plan, maybe that year, the Tumbala, the radio, Chalo, love Uganda here, and the man of Yama Pola, but the team issue. I mean, Mio, Kadum, one call you better go Pola, Tumala, Uganda Canada, and Mio, Jama Bella Gore, deal one Falconi, Locha Metieni, or deal Tumala, Uganda, maybe to Peho, get a chachian. Amemano wando ya unu mala ikata kwa niko ni omiyo jome tu mala Uganda bere jame obere chala dogi bere tio tam chala dogi me jamo bere obi goba pikala lach goba menuti ya duwa niko bere ngi mano ngata me omiyo peki ni bere time bere ngata me pe miro ni ikome pigina be pegere ka pe hodo ti komi mi I kemere ke ngoa me tia ke le pe komi no me we mo agam me pe ha menuti ko ni ngata ke le peki ni bere president you and Museveni meti kame chawni en ko ni no ubero ngata me bero mi pek we bero dum to twal mi aporo kan ko ni ma tuna chel mi abongo en bi ara boru ye e dano ni bero o tafire o bino worki me yiko ngata mo ni adona tibahura me da bero ate ha me UPC ru adi to twal ero kure ente ko ni mano giro bero ro ba jo me UPC e ka de donyo ni kana UPC ti ye e ka de TUTG me we holo to jongi ni giro bero UPC er no giro biro me gamba lodge gam gini dang loy dayante ko ni ma mi subiru tiye ya kila jama pola pol amen bir mi ya pori e kam te ko ni jome tu mala Uganda to neni wangi kita mende khalanyo bele tiye kere en ko ni tiye mena medu mu yogo te kala chere documentary ame jeno dana bara Norbert Mao gi bin lo ya me ko ba teteri me ngamo timere kom tian ke ne halan amo timere ko nyale me tu mala Uganda en ko ni mano chawani mi yo giro biru tu mala Uganda binu gini pia to pekiti apol mwaki ke mwake mukara ngeti do bolo jo me mwana chawa ni otikiri mwa hayot ame pekitie chiantie chama chana tia duong adage tia me omiuro pia dagere ilo wakana no koni gin tia kope no mi gin chal party me National Unity Platform binu me katuka chikira gam ikom peki ame do tia no channel imar mari. Back to you, Mr. President.
Yes,
we'll be talking matters of the plans that the party as National Unity Platform has in the next election.
The plans that we have, not just in the next election, because we are not only looking at an election.
Right.
We are young people who have a plan for Uganda that precedes even our own lives. We want to start afresh and build a new Uganda. We've always said it, that we are in the struggle to put down the Museveni regime. But that's not the end as in itself. As a matter of fact, when we defeat this dictatorship, that will only be the beginning. we have been taught by our forefathers, who we were taught to hate in the first place, that our fight here is against poverty, ignorance, and disease. And indeed, that was Dr. Pote's mission, which we clearly see. Unfortunately, under Museveni, the problem of Uganda has been reduced to one thing: corruption. You see, as a human being, you can have 99 problems until you have a health problem, and then you have one problem. We had so many problems until we have the Museveni kind of corruption, and then we have one corruption, moral corruption, and everything corruption. As a matter of fact, I'll say it here when I'm on Lango FM, the voice of Lango,
Yes.
that we are conditioned to hate past leaders. Even when we are moving on the roads that they constructed, we are taught to hate Amin. Even when we know how Pan-African he was. Of course, he had his mistakes, and I'm not justifying his mistakes. We were taught to hate the past regimes. We were taught to hate President Obote. For example, back in Buganda, that is the narrative that Museveni used. Like I just mentioned, he and his rebels would dress in UPC uniform and go kill our people to teach us to hate that. Even when we know that the hospitals and the roads and the schools that we went to were constructed by those leaders, Obote never drove people off their land. He never exhumed our elders to grab the land and all that. But that is what's happening today. Anyway, we want to point our focus to the future. We are trying to end this regime so that we build a new Uganda where everybody will be free before and under the law, where you come to a radio station and speak your truth and you don't expect to be taken away in a drone like it's happening today, where you know that the law is going to be, justice is going to be accessible for everybody. We want to fight against this poverty, the ignorance and disease. Poverty, we are not reinventing the wheel. It has been there. We had cooperatives that were established in the past governments, which were destroyed steadily and consistently by the Museveni regime. To see that now our cash crops have been destroyed: coffee, cotton, tobacco, name it. And those that have persisted have been grabbed and taken, owned by family. The most recent victim crop is coffee, but this happened to cotton, it happened to tobacco, it happened to sugarcane in Busoga. So we want to fight back against that poverty by making sure people own back their income generating activities. Of course, we want to fight against ignorance, want to improve education. Today, our education is terrible, as you can see. Our healthcare, needless to talk about it, Justice Mudiagonja was in charge, a former Inspector General of government, crying foul. Here in Uganda, it has been told to us, and everybody has seen it, that everybody, no matter how rich or successful you are only one hospital bill away from brokenness. So we want to fix that. We want to fight corruption, because corruption is the cancer that has killed our country. This corruption is perpetuated and protected by Museveni himself, because most of the corrupt people are always traced to his doorstep. And he has come out in his own words to support that corruption. The corruption in parliament, the corruption in every institution of government. I'm sure you know, as a journalist by now, that according to the IGG's report, we lose 10 trillion. 10 trillion is stolen by Museveni every year. And I'm strongly convinced that that is an statement, because this is official government statistics. It must be more. That we want to stop it. We want to fix the infrastructure, ensure that roads worked on. We are still moving on the roads constructed and established by old governments. We want to fix our road network, because that money is there. If that money is not stolen, that money can fix our roads, that money can fix our hospitals, that money can fix our schools. We want to make every Uganda equal to the other to stop the exclusion in the economy, but also in other services. For example, in the military, there's so much tribalism and inequality in the military when it's a national unity platform in leadership of this country. A person recruited in Gulu or Oyam or Atiak or Kasese or Gomba or Chiruhura will be judged the same and promoted the same. Promotion in the military or in police is not going to depend on the language you speak or the shape of your nose or your last name. It is going to be purely on merit. So we want to fix that. One other big problem that we want to deal with is land grabbing. This is at epidemic levels, not only in northern Uganda, but everywhere. You've had this problem in Uganda, in Busoga, but now that we are in northern Uganda, you've seen it. From the upper land grabs to this disrespectful allocation of your land to the Balalo, who you cried about for a very long time until just recently when the minister gave them 2 weeks to vacate. But mockingly, Museveni's son Muhozi came out and tweeted, interestingly in Unyankole, and he said, yes, although you were given 2 weeks, and indeed his father, General Museveni, ordered them to leave, but Muhozi told them, you cannot leave until I come there. So that and many other injustices will have to end as soon as we get into power. One thing I don't want to forget is that as soon as we are shown power, we are going to repeal all those bad laws from the UPDF Act and all these other senseless laws that are oppressive. We are going to repeal them and ensure that Ugandans live in dignity and in freedom like it should be in a democracy.
Thank you. Someone will ask, you've said there is a lot of tribalism in the military and inequality.
Yes.
In terms of
Yes.
Definitely the tribe, the district where you come from.
Yes.
During the recruitment process, they pass every district and recruit members. Like recently for Uganda Police, they passed everywhere in the country, canvassing the country, doing the interviews and taking the people. What makes you say there is tribalism?
Yes, because I see the reality. Do you know the generals we have? Okay, you see them. Are they representative of the nation? Certainly not. They're not a national character. But leave the military alone. Go to all ministries. Go to Uganda Revenue Authority and listen to the language they speak there. Go to the airport of Uganda. Listen to the language that they speak there. Look at all the military high command, all the high-ranking police officers. Go and look at the RPCs and DPCs all over Uganda. Even here in Lira, I will not need to inform you. I mean, look at the CDF, the head of the military. Look at the head of police and those that come. Look at the Commissioner General of Prisons. They all come from the same the same region.
Thank you.
I mean, needless to say, the same family. So I think I don't need to substantiate my point. It is self-explanatory. This is a tribal government. This is a family rule, and it must stop because all Ugandans need to be represented in the leadership of the country.
Thank you so much. With Radio Party President Studio, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, amengeye kidi nyingme Bobi Wine. Mewe studio kan, anapenye, iko mangwa gindilo tiyo chalo Parliament National Unity Platform, iko peki Amerika uduong tu malme Uganda ni, ma chalo ngam ni manon kaya ne bido danyi loch, chalo Parliament National Unity Platform, gindilo chaku ni tit, gero lo Uganda nyen, ame gindilo timo, eka mewe ke gindikado danyo kota gero Uganda nyen, obilu chakwa geya nyen bijodusu metilo Uganda lwenyi kom chan lwenyi kom la chonye lwenyi kom pe home tuo na matio dio jowa pe ku kena ko ni dum tie dite yile la lo abro pe home cham chana amen ko ni ne en e binu lwenyi ya tekto al kele parri mere kele tich gidusu national unity platform ena ko ni mano pe ho kana metie dung ti di chawane lost metie ke game da metie ponyo wa me wan dago tela wa chon ya pore mi dag president amin e kun ka be da mana minuti ja ba ci pilo woni mi dago borre kun ka be da mana borti ja ba ci pilo woni ena ko ni mano ber gina metie na hayiro on lo boti meno kana me president chon minuti yo di chawane mi ni wano dag ena ko ni donyo gi lach chalo gir mi gero Uganda nyien ya bino mi yobera gonya ame ngara chel bera gonya kayi to cheko tero te pidi ngola tira bera tie pijo dushu no pe home tuo chan e beda pe jeno ko pe tu kena motive lo Uganda tieni ugamo to era jo kona hakari pur eno ko ni manu chiem are jo pur kan ya pore le bala muan a che choki ko per bela lieto twal mano mano ko ni taba ya kina meno kene pama meno jo pur che su kana mando konye du pe eno mi go mere do pe ko kena ko ni tielo Uganda jawno be pe kine ponyere peki me yot kom kuni pe home yot kom dia dum tutwala me kayi be ngalo le Uganda chawani kayin ko be la let itu ye kay chiel e ka chiri ni ameti tum duit ida hatal anu yini wo cheni wo tiu kere men mo konyo ko biento welda hatal ti malo dang mo konyo do du pera mo no ko ni chan dia dongi dogolo mi apol ikom report ame kweda ame otio ni tajero ko ni mano imwa halo Uganda wo chene ame ro trillion apa men ko ni dang tu boda tami pe ko ba ber kan ke jeno don kan ko ento pien dong nu por ka jeno o kweda mano pien gino tiu ke game nu ron ko bana ono tamaro ko ni pe ha dong ti twat e lach lobo mano game te pole wak e joy moy en ko ni para po hatia duong to twat o choja lo be ke rock e lacha gino binie pe choja lo be ke kita wuminen kere lo be ke kita wainen kere yo district ay ya to binu mi men mo en be fi jo to show en ko na hani ko pe mayo lobo tie dum tutwal men mi apor ko ni lobo me apa na ha ko pe tie me pe tum ilao kana wor ma tin dum dum lobo ko la ni mano kwando balala ko wai lobo me lao ke choli beri da han ko ni what a president a general mozi da doctor of keto kun ko ni mano ko pe gora mi ya ko ni choi le ba go kun ko ni ko di dogo balala po tara mi ya kai ko pe ni ne mo be ko pa en ko bi yore ko ni ka gino donyo chal national platform gino bino mi yo gene ci ko ken ti amen ko ni gor ko nyer pe bi ko anyu gi ko ya pore do ci me mo me UPDF ata no chwa wa ci choki ko ni mano gi bi ko anyu ko ya pe ya na pe ni ko ngo amen ti ke me mo ni mano daga ke ko ha me ro ti e yo yo mo ni ko ko ente ko ni mano no apo ha ti do te pe ni ana anen di no le di ameti Uganda kana me kaine ni loki rohi unity rawan ukoni kana what you teach me you are kachi what teach me like dege Uganda Airlines e kachi ke don komana don imo kachi ke RDCs ke DPCs ameti ino ngoni peti ara ram ya marti malu ya marti ping